these niggas, like dust off these niggas. Do it for fun, don't take it personally, I'm surprised you call me after the things I said. Skirt on niggas, skirt up on niggas, skirt down, you acting like we wasn't more than a summer fling. I said.
Hello. Can we not hear you?
There we go. Can you hear me?
Oh, there we are.
Hear us? There we go.
Nice. What is
How
up?
are you?
Good.
You guys are always coming with the vibe.
No. You got to.
Yeah.
So bring that vibe, girl. We need the vibes today because this week's stories are. We need all the good vibes coming in today.
I always think to myself when we do, just so everybody knows, me and the ladies do a planning call every Monday for this show. We spend about an hour and a half, and even when we think the stories can't get any worse, every week they seem to, like, it's the internet. The internet is the gift that keeps on giving, and it's got a lot to give this week. So, but before we go into the foolishness that we found on the internet, we're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves in alphabetical order.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Not Your Typical Girl Talk, where we try to make sense of the foolishness on these internets. My name is Karsia. Welcome to our show. Thank you to Radio Region, syndicated through iHeartRadio. They allow us a platform Saturdays for our replays. So check us out Saturdays on Radio Region, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, syndicated through iHeartRadio. Telly, what is up, girl?
Girl, so much is up. Too much is up. Hey, everyone. My name is Telly. I didn't know my name for a minute. That's how messed up the internet's been just messing with all of our minds. I can't even remember my own name. My name is Telly. It's so nice to be here with my Not Your Typical Girl Talk crew. Too much to uncover. Shiva girl, how are you?
I am good in the hood, as you would say,
Yeah.
my lady. I am to Shiva. They call me Shiva. I am the final female member of the crew, and joining us tonight once again is, well, he'll introduce himself.
It's Robbie 3 times. What's up, everybody? How you doing? And happy Wednesday, and let's see what we're going to talk about.
So here is the thing. I don't play with Jesus. I don't play with the Lord. I don't play with God. I don't play with Jaja. Whatever name you want to call, I do not play with him. Because when you play with Jesus, God, Jaja, Allah, whoever it is that you worship, bad things will happen to you. And in this segment called Bishop Fraudster, this bishop learned his lesson with playing with Lord. And this is where we're at. So I'm just going to put this up for a moment. And oh, God, I turned it around hoping you ladies could be able to see it. But if you recognize that face, that's Bishop Lamore Whitehead. And Bishop Lamore Whitehead became popular recently because he was robbed of, what was it, $50,000 worth of jewelry. It was a ridiculous amount of money, despite the fact that he only had like 12 parishioners in his church. So this week, he got arrested for fraud. So this says Bishop Lamore Whitehead arrested for fraud, extortion, and false statement. Let me read a little bit about what Bishop Lamore has done. Earlier this year, Brooklyn Bishop Lamore Whitehead went viral after a robbery was captured on the live stream during one of his church services. A few weeks later, he went viral once again after he was involved in an incident with a woman in his church as he escorted her out during one of his services. As those incidents occurred, the bishop's finances became a trending topic, as he was accused of stealing from members of his church. That caused him to speak out several times to defend himself. On Monday, the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Southern District of New York announced that they arrested Bishop Whitehead for fraud, extortion, and false statements. FBI Assistant Director Michael J. Jishkal said, as we allege today, Whitehead carried out several duplicitous, how's that? Duplicitous. That one. Schemes in order to receive funds from the victims. Additionally, when speaking with authorities, Whitehead consciously chose to mislead and lie to them. If you're willing to attempt to obtain funds through false promises or threats, the FBI will ensure that you are made to face the consequences for your actions in our criminal justice system. The unsealed indictment, Whitehead induced one of his parishioners to invest approximately $90,000 of her retirement savings with him, but instead spent the investment on luxury goods and other personal purposes. He's also accused of extorting a businessman for $5,000, then attempting to convince the same businessman to lend him $500,000.
Well, at least we know how he's been getting all this Fendi, because I was wondering where he was getting the Fendi money and the Rolls Royce money and the Bentley money and everything else. So at least we know.
But it's just dry, because like we all knew that he was using that church to launder money, and the whole robbery that took place. We all know that he pretty much staged that all by himself, because how the robbers knew to look under his robe to find more jewelry. What did the Spirit tell them? The Holy Ghost said, search it under his robe. He has money there too. Like, I think if anyone really thought this man was legit, they should have their head examined. Come on. He's a gangster. Jesus is a friend.
$1,000 of someone's retirement.
Yes.
90,000. Do you know how long it would take to for some people to get $90,000? How would he convince? Well, he's a
that too. I'd love to hear what he says to people.
Well,
to get
it's obvious that he's charismatic. He is very
say.
charismatic, and we know this, right? Because we've seen those YouTube video or Instagram videos of him literally going with, members of his church, going to Louis Vuitton, and they're buying him Louis Vuitton goods. Like, they're buying it for him. So he's good with his mouth. He is good with convincing people and manipulating people into.
He only has like 12 members.
Listen, you only need 12 people to put together, and they can buy you a $10,000.
Jesus had 12 disciples. I don't remember any of them buying him Louis Vuitton.
No, but Jesus also wasn't out here trying to rip people off.
I'm just saying.
Like, Jesus was out here healing people. And you know what I mean? Like,
Jesus didn't ask for Louis Vuitton. He just said, follow him. He'll make you fishers of men. This man's telling his people, follow me and buy me Fendi.
Right.
You guys are killing it. And we all knew this the first time this story popped up, and it was entertaining and funny, and he just brought a little too much attention to himself with all of the drama, and everybody's been wondering where he getting all his money from. So,
He did it to himself.
He did.
Yes.
All of that.
I mean, I do feel a way for these people. They really, when stuff like this happens, it makes people jaded about faith and about being a part of something. And I hope that it doesn't, harm them in a way to say that, this one man, he isn't everyone. He isn't everyone in the faith. There are people out there that are honest, but this is just an example of what can happen if you get too deep and not investigate. Do your own investigation. Like, why would a minister who really cares about people want to wear head to toe Gucci or head to toe Celine and Prada shoes? Like, that is not, per se a man of God. So, you have to use your own discernment.
Listen, Tony is spilling the tea.
Tony, yeah, Tony, you got some tea here. Hold up. Hold on, Tony. Rima, eh?
You don't say
I don't know
so.
if I want to talk about Rima.
I'm gonna hold on that.
Tony,
We'll do an after dark show.
I've attended said church myself. Yeah. So, however, when you go to Rima has more than 12 people.
That's true.
Yeah.
Rima does have more than 12 people.
I do know of Rima. Our family is very close with
Pastor
Orm's family and background, and the members of that church are very devoted to that church. And even recently, you know what? I'm not gonna talk about it on here. But recently, I've heard some things, and
we feel you, Tony. But we know we hear you and we feel you.
So again, the church, but it's all about discernment and all about faith. The faith calls you. You want to go to church. You think it's important. You want to be spiritual, but be smart. That's it.
Exactly.
Be smart. That's it.
Amen.
What would not be smart
is
working for this next person. So before I go to the ad, I'm just going to read you what the ad says. Oh, goodness. Do I not have the ad here? Okay, I may have to pull it up. Let me see. I might have it somewhere else. Okay, I don't have it here. So we're about to tell you about a job, because for some reason I did not send it to myself. But I'm going to tell you about this job. So you have a chance to work for a celebrity, and the celebrity puts out a notice that they want an executive, an admin assistant, basically, a personal assistant. And if you know anything about the idea of personal assistant, this could be a 24/7 job, especially if the person is really busy. You got to travel with them. You're picking up their dry cleaning. If they've got kids, you could be picking up their kids if there's no nanny. You know what I'm saying? You're picking up their wardrobe. You're doing a lot of things. So you hear that a celebrity is putting out an assistant job. How much do you guys expect for this assistant job, a personal assistant to a celebrity?
For me personally, I'm going to say this. I'm just going to throw out the ballpark. For, let's say they're getting paid bi-weekly. That's how my brain works. I would say, come on, man. Bi-weekly, I need at least $1,500 to $2,000 bi-weekly. That's like
the bare minimum
to me, because I know what that work. And I'm saying that because I know what that work involves. From seeing people do that as a living and being involved in the industries that have personal assistants and seeing how they work. Girl, they should not be doing it for less than $1,500 to $2,000.
So you're saying about $4,000 a month, about $48,000 a year, if we were to.
And that's like just mid-level.
And that's for a newer artist. Like we're talking about what's her face, Doja Cat.
Yeah, someone
like
a
5 years ago, like a new artist.
If you're looking at someone like Angelina Jolie or like Tina Turner, then you need to be getting the least like 200,000 a year.
Okay. Well, this artist wanted to let you know that she's got a job. What did I just do with the bloody thing? Honestly, I've done lost. I'm always there. I'm always losing something. So this artist, they've got a job out here, and they're going to tell you a little bit about it themselves. We're going to...
They're talking about 550 too low. It really needs to be 500. No, I'm just playing, but for real. First of all, your flights get paid for. Your flights and your travel. If you want to have pay, then pay for your own flights and on your own travel. And see how much them $500 flight tickets. Bitch, you think I'm gonna pay you $1,200 a week and pay? I take flights every day. You think I'm gonna pay $500 for you a flight every day? No, they don't work like that. Anyways, after that, half the playlist you don't gotta do for real. It's just if it come down to it, you might have to do it. But it's literally the easiest in the world. You really don't gotta ever be with me every day. And go pick up my clothes for me and All my outfits I gotta wear. You gotta have all my shoes. You gotta just really what the else what else you gotta
What?
I'm like 550.
Ooh.
No.
Okay, first of all,
I
can we
don't
not?
know.
Why are we normalizing the bonnet? Why are we showing up in our worst light? And second of all, what the hell did she just say? I didn't understand one word. All I understand was when she cussed at somebody. What did she say?
So
She said that she's going to pay someone $550 a week. Let's do the math on that. That is $2,200 a month and $2,244, so $26,400 a year to be her personal assistant, for which sometimes you have to be able to work on the weekends, you have to travel with her, and you have to figure
24/7.
out what the hell she's saying.
okay,
Thank you,
Right.
girl. Not one word.
I do want to bring up what some of our friends here joining us live, Naturally Fierce, says. You know, they have to be available at the drop of a dime, which is true. Personal assistants could literally be woken up at 3 a.m. in the morning and told, please get down here with
my favorite candle.
with my weed, right? Like, not
It's
saying,
true.
you know what I mean, though? Like, that's
It's
how, it's a real thing, right? It's like being a doctor. And then, Tony Williams says, why not negotiate it in your contract with the label? Exactly. I
True
mean,
that.
that's just plain business. So we're talking about Glorilla, who I'm sorry, I'm not aware of her music.
Robert knows. Robert, how person? He knows all the new ratchet rappers. I don't know.
So would we consider her a stripper rapper?
Is she a
Like,
stripper
is she
rapper?
into strip?
Does she strip?
No,
Did she be a stripper and now
or
she's
you know what I mean? Like, is it
like
that
a
sort
Megan
of?
Thee Stallion kind of thing?
No. Megan. Okay. They had an unfortunate incident in Toronto today with a pack of young girls, correct?
Yes.
I guarantee they listen to Glorilla.
Oh.
What was
And
that?
okay, so
that
yeah,
explains a lot.
what
Yeah.
happened in
To find out
Toronto?
what this
That explains
unfortunate
it.
incident was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gang,
So
basically, I mean, I ain't trying to.
yeah,
No,
no,
you're right.
you're
Rob,
right, Rob.
It
So
was a girl game.
two 13-year-olds,
Three 13-year-olds.
13-year-olds, two 14-year-olds, and two 16-year-olds.
Something like that.
They all met and became friends online, and they were literally just walking down the street to Shiba, Front Street and Bay Street. They were kind of just walking around, and a man and a lady were walking, and I believe the woman had some alcohol.
Yes,
she had purchased some alcohol in front of a hotel, and they started kind of badgering at the woman. He stepped in to defend her, and they all like basically ganged up on him with knives, and they all stabbed him.
There are with 8 teenage girls fatally stabbed one man.
Yeah.
That's got to be the story. I'll have to read it after.
It's a horrific story because, these are young girls. I mean, 13, and they were charged
13,
with
14, and 16.
second-degree murder. Like, their lives are completely over, and this man lost his life for foolishness.
But now knowing that Rob
knowing
just said that these girls probably listen to this girl. Now that explains everything.
Explains a lot.
That explains gorilla. Is it
Glorilla?
Glorilla. That was gorilla.
Glorilla.
Like gorilla.
So you think about like that's how you identify, like,
Oh boy.
As far as I know, silverbacks are males. Like I know there's female gorillas, but
right.
I don't think they beat up the silverbacks though. But
I would just say, listen, I'm all about experience. I'm all about trying to get your foot in. I think somebody mentioned the Devil Wears Prada, but she is not. Sorry. I understand nothing she said. And I get it. I'm not an American Black woman, and so often I don't get the vernacular, but I understood nothing but the curse word. So you want to...
Same! I didn't understand anything but the F-bomb.
I mean, here's the thing, right? And I'm from, I would say that our generation, more so than any other generation, we know what it's like to work for either for free or very low pay. And I did, in my younger days, I did a lot of internships that did help me in the long run. But these were internships with like some good names. Up to this day, when I mention them in a room, immediately it gets people's attention. Big time fashion magazines, having my name on the masthead, having my name associated with EMI Music and other huge labels, it does help. It does. And they are paying either very little or nothing. True. Mm-hmm. However, you're not the personal assistant and you're not going to be called up on a Sunday at, 7 a.m. to get to a hotel so you can pack someone's bag.
And she is not the type of artist that you're going to hang your hat on, I'm sorry, and make it in the industry. Like, she's not. So I'm sorry, $550. There were people who were trying to talk about, it tells the type of people who wouldn't work for $550 because it's a foot in and hard work pays. We got to stop that hard work foolishness.
Girl, all of that.
Hard work should also be compensated.
Yes.
There are now paid internships, right? My niece did a paid internship in the summer, and she's a law student. She got paid handsomely for her paid internship, where she was also being mentored by the senior lawyers and going into meetings, getting paid for an internship, and she's going to be a lawyer. So buying the being with you 24/7, having to pick up your, I'm sorry, it's called starvation wages. So unless she's paying for where they live, paying for their cars and or Uber, also paying for their groceries. Okay, if you want to have $2,200 disposable income every month, sure. But when lettuce in Toronto costs $10, and my girlfriend just sent me a picture today of going to the grocery store and a pack of strawberries for $6.99, my girl ain't cutting it.
And rent, where they're going, I don't know where she's located, if she's in New York or Atlanta, whatever, but rent alone is $2,000 to $3,000 basis. So unless she's going to pay for their room and board or, have them live in with her, which is there, I don't understand how this pay would warrant working with her full time.
You can't work with her because you can't understand what she's saying.
It's not a job for grown-ups. She like 20-something.
So it's a job
this
for a
is
16-year-old?
for someone under her.
So for 17,
I don't know about that.
18-year-old?
20.
Yeah, I guess an
19,
18-year-old.
I just should be in college. They're gonna run around and follow her and personal assistant. I think that that makes me think indentured servant because there's no working hours.
That's exactly what it is.
You can't say no.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Williams just made a good point. It's the last point we're going to make. It's a job for the gram.
Yeah.
That's it. Exactly so.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry.
I am
CP24
woman.
Money,
Thank you, Tony. It's facts, though.
That's
true.
Listen, that could be
true.
That could be the next show.
So we are going to move on
It's
to
true.
a topic that is near and dear to me, and it's the discipline of children.
Mm-hmm.
I think children should be disciplined. Quite frankly, I come from a day and age where I think children should be beaten. You're picking at them because they're bad. And I think if more parents did that, we would have better children in the world. But that's just me. Some people think that, like, Rob is not about beating children. We have very different tactics to parenting. And so I respect his parenting, and I would not beat his children. But I damn well, they were mine, I would beat mine if they're stepping out of line. So there's a story recently where Amari Stoudemire was arrested for disciplining his own child. So here is the picture of Amari Stoudemire. And if you don't know who Amari Stoudemire, he is a basketball player. Amari Stoudemire is 7 feet tall and approximately 250 pounds. So I'm going to read you this story, and I want you to think about what they're saying in the story and think about whether or not, if what they're saying is accurate, because a man who is 7 feet, 250 pounds, could it be possible? So the basis of the story is, I'm going to go and I'm just going to tell you what the basis of the story is because for, again, some reason it's not in my thing. So this is what happened. Amari Stoudemire has two kids. They're 17 and 14. And I guess it doesn't say which child it was, which girl it was, but the children were over his house, and the grandmother called one of them, and she said something that always irritates my soul, and I think it's the most disrespectful thing little children can say, because a 17 and a 14-year-old is still a pygmy. I'm a 43-year-old woman, and I'm still a child from my mother, right? So her grandmother called her, and she said, "What?" Thank you. You see your reaction? Because I would never dare say that to my mother, and I'm a
Girl,
I would
he doesn't want to die.
drape me up exactly as a 43-year-old woman. So one of the children said, "What?" And it is said that Amari slapped her. Then they proceeded to say that Amari punched her in the face. She was a little bit bloody. She took a picture, sent it to her mom, and her mother called the police, and he got arrested. Now, this is Amari's statement. I'm going to read a statement, and I want to hear just your thoughts on what I just said. So Amari's statement was, "Over the last 24 hours, an incident at my family home led to my being charged with assaulting my daughter. It is an allegation based on a report that does not square with the facts. I am of the Jewish faith. Today, Jewish people all over the world celebrate Hanukkah and hear the story of how we fought wickedness. I believe that whatever is hateful to you, do not do to others. As the investigation unfolds, the fact will show the allegations to be groundless, as my daughter's medical condition is not the result of being assaulted by a father who is nearly 7 feet tall and weighs 250 pounds. I could never see myself assaulting any person, especially my children. I respect, protect, and love my family, particularly my children. As a father, I ask for your grace as we secure our space and privacy." Thoughts on this, ladies? Rob?
I mean, unless she's like a linebacker, because you described, he's 7 foot tall, he weighs well over 200 pounds,
250.
and she says she had a bloody nose, like a little bit of blood on her
Yes.
face. If this man really punched her, she wouldn't have a face at all. So I don't know about that.
I mean, I wish I could see the picture.
Yeah, I wish I had a photo of what
It's
she
kind
looks
of
like.
hard for me to, because
All I know is saying what in the Black community to your elder is not. It's
yeah,
not a
that's
good.
considered to be.
Don't do
You
it.
know, my Jamaican mother would be
Don't
like, "Oh,
do
you're
it.
fresh.
Don't
Oh, you
do
think
it.
you're a big woman in here?
Don't do it.
Okay, yeah, I would never.
Don't do it.
Never.
But
Mm-mm.
I wish I knew just a tad bit more. I mean, for me,
Let me see if I can find the pictures online while you're speaking.
all right.
Mm.
Do I think that this was a full-on him beating the child? Because to me, there's a difference between discipline and a slap,
Yeah.
and then
An actual
beating
fight.
a child.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I have enough to say, "Oh, he beat his child." I don't.
Robert?
Rob, well, I don't know what you think, but
First off, since I was using the example, I do believe in beating children, adults,
Oh,
anybody
never heard
that
of that.
steps at you a certain kind of way. But I'm also an intelligent man.
Mm-hmm.
In this day and age, where everything is so hypersensitive, physically, quote unquote, disciplining your children, especially as a male, gotta get you there. Because it doesn't even have to be the child.
Mm-hmm.
Child goes to school with a bruise on them. They're making note of that. So it's not that it's the world has stopped believing in that. And you can say you have the rights to do whatever you want to do within your home, and that's what he thought. And we saw, apparently the child thought it was over the top or out of line
Mhm.
because they called their mom and her mama called the cops. Was that the right thing to do? No, absolutely. I think that's like, if you never want to see me again, call the cops on me. And I can guarantee that'll be the last time you see me. But
And listen, you know what? Thank you, Rob, for that. I like that perspective as well, because I will say this, you know, myself and Telly, I'll be open. We are product of kids that got slapped.
Oh, yeah, that's loud.
We got
And yes,
pinched in
Tony, you
church,
did get
Tony.
pinched.
Totally got
You got
pinched
pinched by
church.
parents and by
My
church
parents,
brethren.
exactly.
It was a community thing.
Yes, it was
Thank
a
you.
community
Oh, I got
thing.
pinched.
Listen, I'm gonna
Pinching
be
or slapping.
realistic. There was a belt in the house. You know, there was a look. If you step out of line,
Hey, Shondo.
and you were always told the rules. You knew the rules.
You knew the rules.
So it wasn't like you were just gonna get blindsided one day and just get beat. You weren't gonna get that for no reason.
Right.
You knew the rules. You understood that you had to abide by them.
Right.
I do think that if this was a real, and this is just my opinion, but I feel that if it was a real assault, this poor young woman or this young girl wouldn't have had the sense to even text her mom, because she would have been knocked out
She would have been knocked out cold.
in a corner.
She wouldn't have a face left.
So he posted a $1,500 bond. $1,500. He's a millionaire, so we clearly know that it was not that serious. And he was charged with 1 count of misdemeanor battery, which is a domestic violence charge, apparently for slapping your own child. This is why there's so many young girls on OnlyFans, because you don't discipline them anymore. But I continue.
Girl.
He punched the girl and slapped her hard enough to draw blood. Again, a 7-foot, 250-pound man slaps me, and I'm a healthy woman, right? I'm a healthy 160 pounds, works out in the gym, and I am no match for those 7-footer, 150 pound.
You would go flying.
I would be knocked out unconscious if you
Girl.
punched me. That's like the words like that, punched. Yeah, I'm sorry, you didn't punch her.
No,
He
I don't.
He might have been like, what in the heck did you say?
Right.
I don't disagree, but he probably backhanded her, as a father should, because even my father, who was 5'6", he had all rights to backhand me when I was out of line. And so, you know what? I hope he beats this. And if I were him, I would have nothing to do with the mother of these children. And I would see the children, whichever daughter it is, under supervised conditions, because she can't be trusted either, because her and her mother are going to be in cahoots, and it's just what it is. Listen, I will cut anybody off. Like, that's just, I'll cut my own child off. I'm off.
Yep.
So I should never
Yeah,
have to be.
absolutely.
And I do believe in communication. I mean, at that time she got that text.
Why did she call the
The
father?
mom could have
Right.
called home.
She should have called
Should
and
have
said,
called in.
hey, what happened?
That's
What
all.
happened here? What happened? And if you want, scream and yell with him all the day.
We'll
you
call
know,
the police.
there is a danger there. I mean, we know what's going on in the world today, and
Thank you.
you have to think twice before calling the police on black men.
That man.
True.
So we are going back to our ever famous 3 minutes with Robbie 3 times section. I'm going to go here and go back. And Robbie 3 times. I haven't started it yet, but we'll go with Bishop Umar Whitehead and 5 foot.
The gangster pastor.
Pastor Whitehead, nothing surprising, typical, like, as soon as you lay eyes on this guy, you know he is not a pastor. Well, he looks like more like he's trying to be a rapper or like a record label boss or something like that. And that just speaks to mindset. Man, you know, that's something that, you know, people are saying, like, you know, church, you know, to each their own, but anyone that could be going for a guy with talking about he's the leader of the flock and he's got a mindset like that. Like, I don't know, but obviously it was
Bless you.
Bless you.
a very, want to live the glamorous life type of congregation, because like you said, if you got parishioners taking them shopping and designer stores and stuff. That's just ridiculous. Anyways.
Moving on to somebody who would not be going to designer stores if they worked for this woman.
They won't be going to the local grocery store.
They can't even really go to get anything from the food thing.
You know,
It can be the cell phone bill. Mm-mm.
yeah, I just think that like it's a product of just these days. It's like that's not a serious job for a serious person. That's not a job designed to pay bills or support a family or nothing like that. That's a job, like she said, she takes flights every day. You ain't got to pay for flights. You're just flying around chasing after this girl rapper and running down her clothes and McDonald's and stuff like that. Like, but at the same time, I feel like it's not even a 1099 job. Like, she's just gonna hand somebody $550 every week, and that's gonna be like the job. Like so, if you're okay with having that little security as far as not like talking label contracts, no, I don't think she's there in her career yet. But I do believe she's going to explode because we all know we don't control who gets big and rap.
Mm-hmm.
That's
true. That is true.
Ari Stoudemire.
And Amari, like, yeah, we can sit here and say all of this, and I'm like, but unfortunately, he's got to deal with the repercussions of this whole situation, where you would think it's something that should stay in-house and be a family situation, and it wasn't that serious, but they're trying to make it that way. That's why he got a mugshot behind it.
And there's that.
So, before we go to our second segment, Garcia, please, my dear, talk to the people.
Yes. Welcome to Not Your Typical Girl Talk, where we sit here and try to make sense of the foolishness on these internets. Thank you to Radio Regent, syndicated through iHeartRadio, for this platform. Listen out for the replays to our show every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Internet Radio, Radio Regent, syndicated through iHeartRadio. And we're going to move on with the rest of the show because we still got a lot of foolishness to discuss.
Girl.
So, I'm calling this segment Hoodie Ho. So, and you will see why I'm calling it Hoodie Ho. Because there's a couple of different ways you can take this next story. So basically, a young man wrote into Reddit, and he was talking about his 19-year-old girlfriend who has a collection of 50 hoodies from different guys, and how this makes him uncomfortable. So she's 19, and this is the story. This has made the New York Post, by the way.
Ooh.
So it says, my 19-year-old girlfriend's hoodie collection from 50 other guys makes me uncomfortable. A young man confessed to the internet that he's struggling to come to terms with his 19-year-old girlfriend collecting and keeping more than 50 sweatshirts from other guys. He revealed that the surprise stash rubs him the wrong way and is putting a damper on their dating life. We lived 5 hours apart, and I just moved to her city this week, so this is my first time being at her house. So he said to them that his significant other is the most amazing, beautiful, and kindest girl he has ever met, with a great personality to tie it all together. Oh, goodness. Sorry, these ads. Things took a turn, however, after the young man who met the girl 4 months ago had been invited to stay at her house for 2 weeks. And he was told to throw his threads into his girlfriend's closets. That's where he made the shocking discovery. The closet is kind of a big and confusing. This is to say, I wasn't snooping. So while looking for my clothes, I found a section of what I'd say was easily 50, if not more, hoodies. Very obviously men's hoodies, all neatly hung in a closet off section. That moment felt so surreal. I didn't know what to make of what I was seeing. My mind went from, is she cheating, to maybe she collects them, to who the F needs this many hoodies. Despite being panicked, the young Romeo said he maintains a cool and collected demeanor when he came to talk with the girl, they're using all these words that are unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
Her expectation was that this last summer, her best friend and her made a game to get as many guys' hoodies as possible, just for fun. She said she never had anything with them, and it was only for their entertainment. I don't think she had something going on with guys this summer. So this is what he said. I don't think she had something going on with 50 guys this summer, but it kind of rubs me the wrong way. I can't stop thinking about what really happened and if she's telling me the truth.
Lies. A game?
Here's the thing.
It's a weird game.
And I don't know. I mean, this sounds very sort of like a young girl.
And she's 19.
Yeah. Like for me, the way how I see it is like, okay, fine. Let's say it was a game.
It's a stupid game.
How? What? You just walk up to guys, hey, could I have your hoodie? Because we're playing this pointless game where we're just collecting, hoodies. Like, girl,
I want to know how 50 men and she's only 19. Lies.
Here's the thing. Even if she did not have full relations of those 50 guys, she definitely had some relations with them.
how else would you?
Those are her trophies. It's like, you know when psychos kill someone and they always keep like their underwear or a lock of their hair as a trophy. She's just keeping these hoodies and remembering, Bobby.
It doesn't make any sense.
This is when Tom took me to that motel one night. Oh, this is when me and Josh went to God knows where.
Because she could have done the game, right? She could have done the game with her best friend and be like, hey, this guy's willing to one and give the guy back the hoodie. And they over and over and again for the summer, and they just keep a note when they're together of how many guys were willing to do the hoodie.
Right.
And at the end of the day, that it could have seen and it accumulated how many guys, because they do the game together. They're best friends, they're probably together. She did not need to take the hoodies, put them neatly in her closet, hang them, put them away. Like, I'm sorry. That's why I call her hoodie home.
You knew the man was gonna come spend time with you,
and she still had
them there in the. It's like, sis,
she wants to show them off.
Like, you didn't even have shame to like put it up in a box and hide it somewhere.
She's lying, sir. Sir, if you ever watch the show, and we hope we find you, because I'm just going to find you on Reddit and try to tag you and find you. She had relations in some way.
Did she give them the hoodie? I believe she did.
So, listen, young man, there are some women who would consider, if they haven't had penetration with a man, the fact that they haven't had sexual relations. But if she put her mouth on his member, that is sexual relation.
Yes.
If he put his mouth on her member, that is sexual relation. Yes. If there was any kind of foreplay of any type, that is sexual relation. So your girl is a hoodie hoe. Robert?
Yep.
This story is it's self-explanatory. I don't even understand why I took all them words and all this other stuff.
He's got nothing.
Oh.
Like, you know what it is, dude. Come on.
So, we will move on. Young man, find you, we'll tag you. So, in this one of our favorite section, What in the Caucasity? Viewer discretion is advised. If you have a sensitive stomach or sensitive ears, I am warning you in advance that this story will make you nauseous. I'm going to put it up here for a second. Look at that smiling man.
Right? Look at that
smiling photo.
He is proud.
Man. You wouldn't realize that this smiling man is a piece of doo-doo.
Literally.
Let me read what the headline says for those of you who may not be able to see. Officer previously terminated for giving feces sandwich to homeless man has been fired again. A Texas police officer who in 2006 was fired from his department for serving a homeless man a feces sandwich has been discharged again from a different police department. Matthew Luckhurst was terminated from the San Antonio Police Department in 2016 after smearing feces between two slices of bread and dishing it to a homeless man. This was the statement statements that was made after he did that. It's a disgrace to the department. It's a disgrace to the badge. And it's embarrassing that someone would ever do something like that, said the San Antonio police chief at the time. However, somehow this man still got another job somewhere else. Luckhurst was later hired by the Floresville Police Department in Texas, but was fired again after they got wind of the incident that occurred in 2016. The mayor at the time said, our city manager, Andy Jocelyn, is implementing stricter hiring policies for all city of Floresville police. So apparently, they didn't do background checks.
No, they did
on
not.
why police officers were fired. But it gets better because somebody else hired him. According to the outlet, Luckhurst won an appeal for the 2016 feces sandwich incident because of a local government code prohibiting officers from being disciplined for conduct that transpired more than 180 days ago. However, Luckhurst was given a second indefinite suspension after an investigation into a separate incident in which he allegedly neglected the women's restroom by leaving feces in the toilet and spreading a brown tapioca-like substance on the toilet seat in the downtown bike patrol office.
What's wrong? What? Man, this is why they need to do like mental checks on people. What's this man's obsession with poo? He's just smearing it everywhere, like it's graffiti. And then look at his picture. Yo, something's up with Texas. Texas and Florida. It's either one or the other. I don't know. I don't know. That's gross.
Wait, who carries bread with them? Like, I'm sorry. I know it's a petty thing, but you have bread in your squad car?
I guess he has bread in his squad car.
Like, how was this a thing? Like, how was this something that came to your mind that you decided, I'm done. Actually, I have nothing.
I think that's why you're kind of speechless with this one, because it's just like, this man needs to, there's something going on.
Yeah, with his bowels.
I mean, well, not only that, but the idea, I mean, most people, you go to the washroom, you do your thing, and you just
flush it away.
The toilet, and you go about your day.
He's like romanticizing his stool. He's literally picking it up and swaying it like it's a water painting.
There is definitely something wrong.
He's trying to feed it to people. Like his poo is going to give them everlasting life or something.
I mean, people need to start doing background checks. And
that's gross.
This man, they should let people know, do not let this privilege fool you. This man is not okay.
Yeah, proof that they do very little, if any, psychological screening outside of the FBI or the CIA. That's the only place that they're reluctant to let maniacs in.
And that picture, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like a photo in the background and just knowing what this dusty man has done.
Like that smile, I can't. Sir.
He's proud of himself. It's like, sir. Sir.
Yeah. Okay. It's, don't, no. Just, no.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna move on. So in this last segment, and I hope I'll be able to read it because I flipped it backwards and now I'm unable to find it, but I'm going to give you the gist of it because I cannot find where I sent it, but I'm going to give you the gist of this story. So I do not agree with cheating. I get that we get our hearts broken, ladies, but the whole get back cheating thing or the get back thing is never a situation. So imagine this though. Your boyfriend breaks up with you around Christmas. he convinces you to give him his Christmas gifts in advance, which you do, after which time he breaks up with you. So I give Rob his gifts today. Christmas is on Sunday. Rob takes his wonderful gifts, and he's like, Toshiba, this isn't working out. And he goes on his way. So I said, you know what? If Rob, I'm going to get back at him. I know what I'll do. I'll sleep with his father.
Girl.
But after sleeping with his father, I get a moment of, oh, I miss Rob. I really want Rob back. But at this point, Rob is mad at me. She claims the father stalking her, and the mother wants to beat her ass. And she's asking for some advice. What you got?
Why does she even want the man back?
Why did you sleep
Why
with
did you sleep with
his
the man's
dad?
father? I say she should go and fight the mom. Go ahead. Go fight the mom and put it on her YouTube channel. That way the whole world can watch it and get a good laugh.
My advice is make better life decisions.
Girl, you're stupid. Is this real?
These are
Oh my
people
gosh.
asking for real advice. So, again, here's Cal. This is a good one. It's never good to use your body as a tool for revenge. You're only hurting yourself. Girl, facts.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Facts.
word.
Agreed.
Whole facts. And preach and amen and drops
Yeah.
damn mic.
Yeah.
So
Sean
she
Doe.
thought that somehow the man was going to want her back after sleeping with his daddy. So now you want him back. Is he supposed to take you back, marry you, and have you be a daughter-in-law to the dad you slept with and his in-law?
Right. Right. And remember now, the daddy is stalking her now because now he's all about her.
And the mom wants to kill
And the
her.
mom wants to beat her.
So, in her mind, how does she think it's going to work?
Yeah, I mean,
Even if the man did want her, but how is it going to work?
yeah, I don't want to sound insensitive here, but people break up every day. Like, and, you know, dating is, it is just one step in the progress of a relationship. Sometimes you are going to stay with that person, yes, and you're going to get engaged and you're going to get married and it's going to be beautiful. Sometimes it's going to be like, hey, this relationship is not working out, so we're going to break up. It's obvious that her emotional intelligence is non-existent because someone that is intentional and thinking properly would never go out and after being cheated on, go sleep with the person's father or mother.
You gave the whole sweet, wonderful answer, and that's why you're here, girl. Here's the thing. How much could you really have loved that man if you were able to go give your pum-pum away to his father right after
His
that?
father.
Exactly.
Of all people.
Exactly.
So you loved him so much,
Hmm?
but you were so angry that you gave your pum-pum away to his daddy.
Yes, she did.
Of everybody you could have cheated with, you thought, you know what? I know how to get him. Pum-pum for daddy.
Yeah, I would have loved to know how old this woman was. I would love to know how old she is. I'd love to know how many
These days, the
had.
25-year-olds and the 45-year-olds are making the same decisions.
They are.
That's true.
And that's scary.
That's true.
That's scary.
But I do feel that she's maybe, I don't know, I'm getting the vibe of like 30 or, you know,
So
somewhat.
old enough to know better.
Yeah.
That's it.
Basically what you're saying. That sleeping with someone's fine. You didn't sleep with the cute coworker
No.
No.
that you've always wanted to sleep with because he was fine as hell. You didn't sleep with that neighbor.
Right.
You didn't sleep with the guy at the bar. You said, I love him so much and he hurt me so bad that I'm going to sleep with his daddy. But then after you gave away your pum-pum to his daddy, then you said, oh, I miss him so much. Maybe he'll get me. He'll take me back. How do I get him back?
Yeah, you don't.
Well, you don't sleep with his father. That's for what.
You don't get him back.
You don't get him back.
She
And why does
needs-
she want him back?
I mean-
Saying that he only wants the gifts. Why
and-
would he want her now? She's a good stepmom now.
Right. And just for everyone watching us and joining in, Tony Williams says because she put the draws in his rice and
Rice and peas.
And
Facts.
Cass says, just make him look smart for dumping her.
Yeah.
Exactly. He did the
right thing.
It's true.
He's the winner out of all of this.
Yeah, he won.
He won.
I mean, I feel horrible in a sense because his dad and him, that relationship is over.
Yeah.
You know, the mother, I don't like. Again, we're out here breaking up families. It's. I actually have nothing else to say about it.
So the advice, girl, is he don't want you.
He doesn't want you.
And any other man in the story, they won't want you either. Keep it to yourself and get therapy. That's the advice. Keep the story to yourself and get therapy. And Robbie 3 times, I'm sure, will have some word for you in his segment. And then you can take the man's advice, but the woman's advice is keep it to yourself and seek therapy. He does not.
I read this story totally different.
Okay, go ahead.
I think the winner is the dad.
Robert, why did the dad?
Shouldn't have took the gifts and then broke up with her. It's like, yo, you should have just broke up with her, bro. You like hell hath no fury.
Like a woman scored.
Like you didn't have to do it that way, and he did. And now dad is like, son, whatever you did, do it again.
I'm done. We're done. We're actually going to go. After that, I can't go into another segment of 3 minutes with Robbie 3 times. But clearly, he's going to bring his brand of whatever that word, hilarity, to the next segment. And we're going to do it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, starting with the hoodie ho.
Yeah, the hoodie ho is, I don't even understand the relevance of this story other than, I guess the name of the game, her and her friend were playing with body count or something like that, because, look, and you can't convince me nowadays, you can probably get 50 random dudes to just give you the hoodie off of their back without doing nothing with them. But the fact of the matter is still you're the type of woman that will be in 50 men's face. Regardless if whether you slept with them, did anything with them, you are the type of woman that stay in a dude's face. And that is, even the evidence is in the closet. Game, no game, that's what I'm saying. Like, that attention stuff is, like, yeah.
Okay.
Next story, yeah, because that one was goofy.
Moving on to the feces cup.
And he's just disgusting. And the picture, it looks like he just did it. Like, and he got, which makes me think, what did he get away with when he was in that job? That's what they caught him doing. Like, what other crap did he actually get away with? They probably need to investigate all feces-related incidents in San Antonio or wherever he was from, and they might have a serial doo-doo handler.
I'm done.
Listen, if Netflix makes a documentary on it, I hope they send your check.
Right?
I hope they send your check, Ross.
Send the check to Robbie 3 times Netflix. Don't delay. Because that is a story. That's,
Moving on to the whatever. It's a no girl.
Yeah, and this one, like I said, the story made me giggle because, again, Dad was just chilling, minding his own business, and obviously she went really hard at Dad to get him to do whatever he did, and to realize then you still want to be with the dude, it's just, that's the type of, bipolarness that I'm sure he should have picked up on before he took them gifts and then ran off with her. Like, that was such a, lame type of move that's what encouraged her to take it there. Should she have done that? No. Did it help anybody other than Pops? No. And now, like I said, you have the old man stalking you, you know, disrupted his life.
Oh no!
Thank you, Robbie, 3 times for bringing back your male perspective on these crazy stories that we find on the internet. And before we go, Telly is going to talk to the people. Damn.
I want to thank everyone so much for joining us today at another episode of Not Your Typical Girl Talk. It's always a riot with us here. Don't forget, if this is your first time watching us, follow us on our page right here on Instagram. Give us a follow. Just like Tony did, get into our DMs and send us some stuff. We'd love to hear from you. And don't worry, if you missed last week's or the weeks before episode, don't worry, because thanks to Radio Regent, syndicated through iHeartRadio, you can listen to all of our award-winning content. That's right, I said it. Award-winning. I'm talking Nobel Peace Prize. We've gotten it. There's video footage that got lost. I'm going to find it, put it on our page, and y'all will see that we ain't lying around here. We have that award. So feel free to find us on there and listen to all of our past episodes. We are all over social media. Find us under the name Not Your Typical Girl Talk. We got Persia. I'm Sally. We got Queen Sheba, and we got Robbie. Not 1, not 2, but 3 times. Until next time, thank you so much, everyone. Take care. We're going to dance it out. And listen, if you see that poo man anywhere, run.
Serial voodoo handler.
Serial voodoo. Yes, thank you, Cass. Thank you. Thank you, Cass. Thank you, Tony, for joining us and giving your 2 cents. It was hilarious. We'll see y'all next week. And Netflix, you heard what Robbie said. Huh. If we see that there's a documentary made of this, you'll be hearing from Robbie 3 times.